All right, let's dive into a scenario that is, well, it's the stuff of geological nightmares. We're talking about the most violent chain reaction our planet could possibly unleash. What would actually happen if every single volcano erupted at the exact same moment? And maybe more importantly, what would survive?
Geologists have some advice for this situation, and it's pretty simple. This isn't about finding a shelter or trying to outrun the disaster, because really, when the entire planet explodes, there's just nowhere left to run.
So you might think it starts with one massive, planet-shattering explosion, but it doesn't. It starts with a sound. Not a boom, but this. Low, rising growl from right under your feet, a vibration felt across the entire globe all at once. And then, it happens.
Every single one of them. All 1,350 active volcanoes that we know of. Plus, you got to remember the dozen or so hidden supervolcanoes sleeping just beneath the surface. They all erupt in perfect, terrifying synchronization. This is the moment the world literally breaks.
The immediate aftermath is just pure chaos. Entire mountains don't just erupt, they rip themselves open. The sky instantly turns this bruised, sickly orange, lit not by the sun, but from all the lava below. And then this global shockwave just blasts across the planet. Even if you're thousands of miles from the nearest volcano, the windows in every single city on Earth shatter from these coordinated pressure waves.
The ground shaking? That was just the beginning. Within minutes, the very air we need to live becomes our greatest enemy. The sky isn't just dark anymore, it's deadly.
All of a sudden, the simple act of taking a breath is a life-or-death gamble. The atmosphere isn't our shield anymore. It's a trap, a global maze filled with poison and what are essentially microscopic shards of glass.
The ash that's billowing into the sky is so fine you can inhale it, but it's sharp enough to physically scar your lungs from the inside out. At the same time, millions of tons of sulfur dioxide are hitting the atmosphere, forming these vast clouds of acid. If you're caught outside without protection, breathing becomes pretty much impossible.
And what about our technology? Well, planes just drop from the sky. It's that simple. Their jet engines clog with superheated ash in a matter of seconds and then just fail catastrophically. The entire age of aviation ends in an instant. Humanity is grounded for good.
Just when you think it can't possibly get any worse, we have to remember something crucial. Most of Earth's volcanoes, they aren't on land. So now let's turn to the oceans and the even bigger threats lurking underneath, because they are all waking up at once.
When the entire seafloor erupts on a global scale, the ocean doesn't just surge, it detonates. The water flash boils in steam, creating these unbelievable explosions that generate mega tsunamis. And these waves, they're not just big, they completely erase coastlines. Entire island nations just vanish. Every port, every ship, every single trade route is gone. Humanity effectively becomes landlocked overnight.
And yet, all of that, the ash, the tsunamis, the poison air, it all pales in comparison to the true planet killers, the ones we talk about in hushed tones. Yep, the supervolcanoes.
Yellowstone in North America, Toba in Indonesia, Taupo in New Zealand, Araya in Japan, Campi Flegrei in Italy. These aren't just volcanoes, they are geological monsters. Each one is capable of altering human civilization all by itself. And in this scenario, they are all erupting together.
Their combined ash plumes shoot 30 to 40 miles high, punching straight up into the stratosphere, where that ash is going to stay for years, blocking out the sun. They don't just cool the planet, they completely rewrite Earth's climate in a matter of hours.
So with the stratosphere now completely choked with ash, the next phase begins. A world plunged into a sudden, deep, and seemingly endless winter. A world without a sun.
And the descent into this darkness is terrifyingly fast. By the third day, the entire planet is locked in a permanent twilight. By the end of the first week, it's near total darkness, even at high noon. And within a single month, the volcanic winter has fully set in.
With the darkness, of course, comes the cold. Global average temperatures absolutely plummet, dropping by as much as 20 degrees Celsius. Snow starts to fall on the equator. A new ice age has basically begun overnight.
This is the exact point where civilization just snaps. Solar panels are useless. Power grids, totally overloaded, and with no one to maintain them, just collapse. Every single crop on the planet fails all at once. The global food chain is severed. In this new world, food becomes the only currency that matters. And as nations try to seal their borders to hoard what little they have, governments just fall apart.
The age of empires and nations is over. But the human story, it doesn't just end with a final, silent extinction. For the few who somehow survived the initial cataclysm, a whole new chapter begins. A grim, desperate struggle for existence on a world that is actively trying to erase them.
For the next decade, this is the new reality. Winters last for 11 months of the year. Without sunlight, photosynthesis pretty much grinds to a halt, killing off the world's forests. The ocean's food webs completely collapse, and the human population, it plummets. Survival is now measured only in calories and warmth.
And here is the ultimate cosmic irony. The only reliable source of heat left on this frozen planet is the planet itself. The very geological force that destroyed the world, all that volcanic activity, becomes the one thing keeping the last pockets of humanity alive through geothermal energy.
Eventually, over many, many years, the ash will begin to settle. The sun will return. But it's going to shine down on a completely different planet. A world with new coastlines, new mountains, and just a fraction of the life it once held. Humanity will survive, but as a shadow of its former self, on a world truly reborn from fire.
So the world wouldn't end in some final, fiery flash. But the world we know? Yeah, it absolutely would. And that leaves you with a final, chilling thought. We are an incredibly adaptable species, for sure. But faced with the full, unleashed power of our own planet, what would survival even look like?
If you enjoyed this journey, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more space adventures, and share this video if you liked it.